Hello, welcome. It's lovely to see you all, lovely to be with you on this fine Sunday. Hope you all had a lovely sleep, and let's start the day with balance. So we're beginning with the Four Thumps. The Four Thump starts with the thump that's for your stomach meridian, so just below your eyes, on your cheekbones. And when you're tapping here, do feel free to vary the speed a bit, and also the pressure. So you might find that on some days it feels better to you to do it slower or maybe quicker. Might make a difference at the different time of day. And for example, after I have a large meal, I'll sometimes get a bit of soreness round here on my stomach meridian point. So by doing this exercise, that will help to reduce the soreness and helps to balance my stomach energies so I can digest my food better. Next, we're going about an inch below your collarbone at the middle. This is the end of your kidney meridian. And again, you can really vary how you do this. You might also see what it's like if you cross your hands. And the next exercise is the Thymus Thump. So that's the middle of your chest. Just like the kidney thump, this is a great one for your energy levels. So if you're feeling tired, do this to try to give you a boost. And also this exercise is good for your immune system. And the next thump, the spleen thump, is also good for the immune system. Spleen is one of the meridians that governs your immune system. So if you're feeling under the weather, don't forget about your spleen. Remember spleen. All right, so as you relax your arms down, take a breath or two and notice how are you feeling having done those exercises. And now we're going to work on our crossovers, make sure we're crossing. So beginning to alternate, raising each leg and tapping with the opposite hand. There's quite a bit of variety in how you might do the cross crawl as well, so you could speed this one up or slow it down. You might also tap in different areas, so still doing the alternating, but tapping somewhere else other than near your knees, maybe the shoulders or the hips. And again, just noticing, if you're trying different ways, seeing, do I prefer one way over the other? Even if it's only a slight preference and you might not be able to put into words why. Bringing the cross crawl to a close now. And another way that we work on our crossovers is through the crossover shoulder pause. So smoothing down from your shoulder to the opposite hip. And once you've done both sides, again, taking a breath, noticing how you're feeling. If you feel a difference from that one, or maybe you had some tummy rumbles, or you may have yawned, some of these signs of energy moving, then that's telling you that your energies liked crossing over, it helped you. So it's something good to do more often. And we're going to go on to the Wayne Cook, so you'll be crossing one leg over the other, bringing your arms out, palms out, crossing your hands, clasping your fingers and coming underneath. And breathing, allowing your energies to unscramble. If you're feeling at all ungrounded this morning, then I invite you to just bring your awareness and pay attention to the lower half of your body. This exercise is one of the core exercises that's very grounding. So you may notice through doing that, and by also at the same time bringing your attention to your legs or your feet, that will help to boost your grounding. Now let's switch, so we'll do the same thing with the legs crossing on the other side. Again, taking several breaths here. And doing your best to stay present with how you're feeling. And now to close the Wayne Cook, bringing your thumbs and fingers together, resting your thumbs at your third eye, and taking a breath or two here. And then placing your fingers on your forehead and dragging across over to your temples. And let's shake off the hands. Now I'm going to add in a little bit that we haven't done on any of these days together so far, but some of you will know about opening up your hands, which is giving yourself a little hand massage, as we can get quite a lot of energy stuck in the palm, also in these dips here between the fingers themselves. So all these areas of your hand where it can be really wonderful to massage with a bit of pressure. You can do this slowly or quickly. The pressure can really vary depending on what feels the nicest. And certainly if there's any parts of your hand where you feel any soreness, then almost certainly there's some congestion of the energy there, so you might spend a few more seconds. And then pulling the energy off, either each finger individually, or you could pull the energy off your hand as a whole, shaking your hand off. And when you've done one side, it can be really lovely to take a moment to just compare and just notice your left hand and your right hand and see what the difference is. And usually people will say that the hand that they've massaged and cleared the stuck energy feels lighter. Sometimes people describe things like tingling or warmth and similar sensations. And then we're going on to the second hand if you've not already. You don't need to do this for a long time. It really depends what it feels like to you and how much energy may be stuck there. People who work with their hands a lot, say perhaps doing complementary therapies or people doing jobs that involve labour, and skills like that, then are more likely to get energy stuck at the hands. But if you're noticing soreness in a lot of places right now, then that suggests the possibility that there's a lot of energy stuck there. So this is a really beneficial thing to bring into your daily routine. And this morning and every time you are balancing your energies, you're using your hands to move and balance the energies. So it's a great idea to have your hands be as open as possible with as much space for energy to move. And so giving your hands a good shake. And we'll continue with the daily energy routine. And let's go to crown pull for the zip up. So coming up to your forehead, stretching across. And again, noticing how does your head feel this morning? Being kind to yourself. So there's no need to push and use more pressure than feels right. Sometimes a gentle crown pull can be really fantastic. And you just continue stretching all the way round the back of your head. If there are any spots that are more sore, you may want to stretch a few more times there. And pulling that energy down and off at the front one or more times. So you have opened up your crown as well as your hands, making lots more space, which is so important for energy to move Now we go to the zip up. So breathing in, coming all the way up the midline, over the top of your head, and bringing your arms down as you breathe out. And a second time, breathing in, coming all the way up, zipping up your central meridian, protecting yourself from outside energies. Also, this exercise can often be a great confidence boost. So if you're not feeling very confident, if you're feeling insecure in yourself, then bringing more of the energy to support confidence. And we're going to go one final time up. So next time you come up central at the front, stopping at your lips, turning your hands to lock that in. And then we'll go on to a hook up. So with both middle fingers, pushing in, pulling up at your belly button and third eye. Remembering your breath. And this is another exercise that's usually very grounding. For me, it always feels like coming home to myself, a deeply centering exercise. So what's happening for you right now as the moments pass and you hold this pose? And now relaxing your arms, giving them a bit of a shake, and let's move the energy down once or twice from each shoulder and then the top of your head. Sometimes when you're using your arms and maybe your arms are up holding a hook up, then the energy might just become a little bit stagnant around places such as your shoulders or anywhere down your arms. So these sweeps, throwing them in at any point, seeing what it does for you. And if it makes you feel a bit lighter, then that suggests there's more flow and more space, which is a fantastic thing. All right, so for connecting heaven and earth, on the theme of space, this is arguably our exercise in Eden Energy Medicine that makes the most space. It's great for all the joints and everywhere in the body, really. So why not bring your attention now to your joints? Because that's places in the body where energy does commonly get stuck, and then we can have tension and aching. So noticing your shoulders and your hips, your knees and ankles, and your arms, noticing your elbows and wrists. Also the knuckles and the joints in your hands, which often there can be soreness there. And now as we do connecting heaven and earth, if you like, you can keep your attention on different areas, or maybe pick one or two areas if anywhere stood out to you, and see what happens as you're breathing and stretching with this exercise. So we begin in the prayerful position, breathing in, and one arm is palm up, the other one's palm down, getting a nice stretch and holding your breath. And then when you breathe out, coming back to the prayerful position and repeating on the other side. And coming back to the middle on the out breath. And then we do the same thing again on each side. And can you feel a difference in any of your joints? And then after your final stretch, when you breathe out, folding forwards and letting everything go, just hanging here. You might even gently, ever so gently, move your neck from side to side. That can help to loosen up any tension there. Really making space here from head to toe. And now beginning to move from side to side and using your arms like an elephant's trunk to make figure eights and coming back up. And continuing to swing in a figure eight motion. You could do this slower or faster. And the size of the figure eights can really vary as well. Someone emailed me recently and they've had a spell in hospital and were asking for some tips and guidance over some simple things that could be done in that sort of situation. So one of the things I suggested was to work with the aura, and there's loads of reasons why working with the aura would be beneficial. But one of them is about the environmental aspects of being in a hospital, because it's a busy environment. Lots of people, lots of energies, lots of things happening, people coming and going, and can sometimes be quite a stressful environment because people sometimes are coming in and we're all human with all our emotions. So I thought I'd share with you today that figure eights, just like you're doing now, can be ever so valuable for your aura, to strengthen this field that's all around you. And there are 7 layers in your auric field, and these layers go from right close to your body and extend, when the aura is balanced, to about here. So the next exercise that we'll do together is the Celtic weave exercise, and that exercise is great for helping your aura to stay expanded to at least your fingertips. So all around you, you've got this wonderful container, this supportive, weave together, a stable, vital support for your energies. And so when you do the figure eights, like you're doing now, you may want to remember those layers. And so sometimes doing the eights closer to your body. So here, right in the first layer next to your body. And then moving out. So just steadily, bit by bit, moving out through all the layers. And so right now, of course, I'm showing you at the front, but you can do this round all your aura. And certainly if you're in a busy environment, or maybe you're a person and you know that when I go to a busy place, I come home and I feel drained or off or tired. Maybe it doesn't always happen, but sometimes it does. The supermarket, a concert, sports, and it may be that you feel that you're quite empathic and picking up energy from lots of people and places. So that would suggest that you would definitely benefit from working with your aura, and it doesn't need to be any more complicated than what we're doing right now. It might just be that if you have habits, maybe your aura collapses every time you go to the supermarket. If that's the case, then you would want to balance your aura before you go to the supermarket and after, and do lots of aura balancing for many weeks, maybe longer, spending time each day balancing your aura. And you'll build a new resilience, new habits, new vitality in that field. Okay, so bringing those figure eights to a close. Noticing how you're feeling. We've done figure eights for longer, of course, and maybe it was one of the first times you've ever introduced figure eights in that way. So really taking this opportunity to notice what's happening. Now we're going to do the Celtic weave exercise. So beginning by rubbing your hands together shaking them off, rubbing them together a little bit more, and then opening them up, perhaps feeling some fresh energy there. Now bringing your hands to the side of your head, so you're bathing your head now in some fresh energy. The next time you breathe in, bringing your elbows together, crossing your arms, and as you breathe out, coming out to the side, breathing in and crossing in front of your waist, and then coming out to the side as you breathe out. Continuing down the body, so again in front of the knees, and then if it's comfortable, your ankles. And then when you're coming back up to standing or seated, rolling your aura. This helps the aura to stay expanded, to stay really fluffed up. So now, having completed our core exercises, let's move on to the radiant circuits. So beginning with belt flow, so reaching to the back and coming over and across your body 3 or 4 times. And then picking the energy up at that waist and smoothing all the way down the side of your leg and off your foot. Repeating it on the other side. And next we are going to trace penetrating flow. So beginning with your hands resting in the small of your back, behind your belly button, taking a breath in. And when you breathe out, lowering your hands several inches, coming over your tailbone, breathing in and smoothing up over your hips, coming down on the out breath to your pubic bone. And then breathing in, coming all the way up the front of your body. When you breathe out at your mouth, tracing some figure eights. And we're going to go on to the Yin and Yang Bridge flow, and then the bridge flow that connects the Yin and Yang. So for Yin Bridge, we begin in the power point. That's the big dip at the top of the back of your neck. So right here, holding one finger or more in that power point, and then smoothing up, bringing your hands over the top of your head to your forehead, to your main neurovasculars, very calming points. Now bringing your hands through the bridge of the nose onto your cheekbones and tapping here. And going to below the collarbone, tapping on the end of kidney. And now we trace 3 hearts over the chest. And how about we go really slowly with these? As long as it feels right. If you prefer to go at a more natural, sort of regular speed, definitely do what feels right for you. But if you go slowly, really noticing what that's like. And once you've done 3 hearts, resting your hands on your lower abdomen and then smoothing all the way down the fronts of your legs. You could squeeze the sides of your feet when you're there if you'd like and come off the feet. And when you return back to your starting position, beginning with Yang Bridge by tracing figure eights with one or both hands horizontally, building a wall in front of you. The more you work with the more radiant circuits, the more likely you will be to be bringing joy and peace into your life. So if you're feeling stressed out, definitely doing more of these. And also, if you'd like to, you can trace them while thinking about a particular stress. So don't pick everything in your life that's bothering you all at once and maybe don't pick something that's sort of a 10 out of 10 bothersome thing, because maybe that's something that you might want to talk to a friend and have some support in that way. But certainly to work with your energies on something that's a small or a medium stress, bringing a person to mind who's upset you, or a situation, and tracing your radiant circuit. And if you do that several times, that sometimes can make all the difference in the world. And now, having done the Yang Bridge, turning round so you can fully receive the Yang Bridge behind you. Or if you prefer, you can just visualise and trust those 8 being received at the back of your body. Noticing how you're feeling. And now we're going to connect the front and the back with figure 8s. And it's quite lovely to do from head to toe. It depends on the person and their energies how much may be needed. As a guideline, if you do once or twice from head to toe, for most people, most days, that's usually enough to really harmonise this energy. If you have a habit of there being no harmony here, no vibrancy, and these energies are not very strong in you yet, then you may need to do a bit longer, or it just may take more time. Sometimes it's just a matter of time and consistency to build new habits. The last radiant circuits we're doing is the Yin and Yang regulator. So Yin regulator starts with a heart on a stick, coming down your arms, and then smoothing down the front of your body and off your feet. Yang regulator is where you smooth round your ears, and then again come down your arms. And this time for Yang, you're reaching up at the back as far as it's comfortable, and then smoothing all the way down the backs of your legs and off your feet. Okay, so checking in. How are you feeling now? You've done all your radiant circuits, the core radiant circuits. And now, resting one hand on your lower tummy with your thumb in your belly button, the other hand at your neck, taking a minute or so to bring balance to your vagus nerve energies. I'm continuing to hold here while I share some light language. Ufana isana su sa 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 isha ka u a isana sa tia ukala ifone se sa ukaya la 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 ikona se asha ukane ifone asaka ishona sa 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 uka ukania Waya si sole isha. Taking several deep breaths. Noticing how you are feeling. Bringing more figure 8s into your field with that light language. And opening your eyes if they're closed. And let's pull a card for you. Okay. So the message that I am sharing with you to take with you for the day, to make some meaning for yourself, is inner trust. And check out that beautiful woman there. I think she looks quite calm, strong in herself, trusting. So maybe you see yourself in this lady, or maybe you don't. So blessings on your day. May it be a wonderful one. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. Or of course the recordings are going on YouTube if you want to catch up or even repeat at some times. Thank you so much for coming. See you again.